It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the Boston Clinic once again. We in the building, and a lot of people ran off with that video I did about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence needing to have more personality and follow the Mayweather blueprint. And a lot of people they take they take what they want to take from what you say and spin it the way they want to spin it. So I came on here to go live to address what I said. And people say, well, you think Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence should act their ass and sell themselves out. It's not about selling yourself out. And that's the difference between regular-minded people and successful people that get that money, that really want to get that money. You're going to do what you got to do to get that money. It ain't the fact that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford got to sell themselves out and be an ass. They don't have to be McGregor S or Floyd Mayweather S. They don't have to do that. Do we forget Deion Sanders, who created the primetime moniker, the character of being primetime. Yeah, people say, oh, he outlandish, but was it tasteful? He was never disrespectful. He took the cornerback position from being a forgotten position in the NFL to one of the premier top dollar positions in the NFL by creating this primetime moniker that he had, this character that he had. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand what Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford need to do. A closed mouth do not get fed out here in these streets. And you being respectful, at the podium and beating around the bush, but turn around and say, man, fuck that motherfucker. Saying stuff like that. Say it to him in front of his face, Share those sentiments. Stop sugarcoating stuff and be more verbal and be more vocal. Both Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Because you going to be in that same realm that a lot of boxers are in, Yeah, I'll get to your Jose real quick. Figueroa. You're gonna be in the same ditch the rest of the boxers are in, and that ditch is they're very good fighters. Who undisputed champion Terrence Crawford, undisputed. 60% of Americans I'm probably can go higher. Don't know who Terrence Crawford is. They don't know who Terrence Crawford is. And mind you, boxing is not a GOAT at the golden age. It's not a premier sport in America. It's not. It's not that no more. But with the NFL falling and going through what they're going through, yeah, and then UFC numbers falling, them getting into boxing can be back on the up and up. And people say, well, yeah, but Pacquiao was a different character, man. Pacquiao had did something that we had never seen. He had moved up several weight classes. We had never seen nothing like that. It got to the point where people said Pacquiao was juicing, even though that's a whole different topic. He did something out of the ordinary. Canelo Alvarez, Canelo Alvarez, he looks the part from a Mexican. He looks like an Irish Mexican. He got red hair, red freckles. He can fight, but he's from Mexico. Mexico, anybody that can make it to the elite prize level, they're going to bag him, pay-per-view. They bag their people. The black community, they don't band together and support nothing but Michael Jordan shoes. And I'm just, I'm just saying that right now. Yes, they need to be more vocal. You don't have to be an ass. It's a way to talk trash and keep it tasteful. It really is. What Deontay Wilder did? He's keeping it tasteful. He's having tasteful, trash-talking dialogue with Anthony Joshua. And to Anthony Joshua, it's disrespectful, but it's really not disrespectful. Deontay Wilder can do a lot more reckless talking to Anthony Joshua. But he's doing enough talking to put himself on a pedestal where people starting to notice him. Because Deontay Wilder, let's keep it real, he hadn't fought an opponent that we really thought was a real threat to him other than Bermane Stiverne in the first fight. So he hasn't had that upper echelon opponents that he had, to be known as a heavyweight. He don't have that marquee victory, that marquee fight yet. But a lot more people know who Deontay Wilder is than Terrence Crawford. You can say, we had 30 fights, whatever like that. This dude is the undisputed lineal champion of a good division at 140. It was the added division. He was a good champion at 135. Errol Spence beat down Kell Brook. Good fighter. He was an Olympian. His Olympic was on TV and all that. Some of them fights was on TV. But who knows who they are? Who? Terrence Crawford could walk through my neighborhood and everybody think he a regular dude. Oh, I could do a video on the Steelers. I'll get to that. But I can tell you that answer right now, Herb, real quick. Steelers coach coming back. Steelers, they ain't cut like that. Good organization. But Crawford, I'm just saying, like, people taking my words and running off with it and spinning how they wanted to spin it. I understand I compared it to the Mayweather blueprint. I did. But he had to do to get that money. You got to do what you got to do. You're going to look back at your career. You say, okay, I made $100 million. Let's just say hypothetically. Say I made $100 million. Okay. But what if I would have promoted and marketed myself a lot better? What if I would have thought outside the box? What if I would have had better dialogue with my opponents? What if I'd have acted, I branded myself a little bit better. That $100 million could have been easily a billion. What Floyd Mayweather did. And you don't have to go out there and steal Oscar De La Hoya's bag and like that. Nothing like that. What Joseph Parker was doing before the steroid comments, it got him $12 million. He said 50-50, 35. Then he went to 40-60. Then he went to 35, 65. Then he got a 70-30 split where he talked his way into getting $12 million. If he didn't open his mouth, he wouldn't have got $12 million. He'd have got looked over. He'd have to take that 80-20 split. Lucas Matisse, if he really didn't put the pressure on Danny Garcia, he never would have got the Danny Garcia fight. You feel me? Ricky Hatton, if he never called out Floyd Mayweather at 140 after he beat Costa and said Floyd Mayweather was born, he never would have got the Floyd Mayweather fight. Yeah, these guys can be nice all you want to be nice. That's not really a tune-up. Vargas and Thurman is a good, solid fight. But these guys can be nice all they want to be nice. Oh, yeah, it's cool. People in America love controversy. They love build-up. And that was the point of 24/7 being created by Mayweather and Al Heyman. It was the point to market Floyd Mayweather. It wasn't the point to market Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya was already a star in the sport of boxing. Mayweather took that fight from a million pay-per-view fight, because that's what Oscar brought to the table, a million pay-per-view fight. He took it to a million pay-per-view fight to a record 2.2 or whatever, $2.1 million at the time what it was. Yes, the money could be at 147, but the money is not at 147 like it could be, because the only person that has personality is Keith Thurman. But Keith Thurman, he don't want to be active. He don't want to be an active fighter. I'm not even sure the kid want to fight no more, to keep it real. He got married. Life changing for him. But like I'm telling you guys, you have to have some personality. You don't have to go out there, F you and your mama and your sister and all that type of stuff. You don't have to go out there and do that. That's not a requirement. But you is required to market yourself, to talk a little bit, tell you what you're going to do, or, this is a good fight, or what do something different. Both of them guys answering yes, no questions and showing zero personality and just being boring. I mean, no, come on, man. Come on. Look, like prime example. Look at Danny Garcia. You think Danny Garcia is the most flamboyant person in the world? Absolutely not. You know why Danny Garcia is amongst one of the most popular top 5 or top 3 most popular fighters in American boxing scene? It's because of Angel Garcia. He's his Buhini Brown, Buhami, or whatever the dude name was. That always be Muhammad Ali. I ain't good at pronouncing that. That's him. He's Danny's PR. He's Danny marketing. People get mad at Angel, but Angel markets Danny Garcia. It's the reason why Danny Garcia is able to have business ventures all around Philly, barbershops, gyms. Everybody know who he is. Not only is that, it's the simple fact that he has the skills to back it up. Whatever Angel says, he has the skills to back it up. They market themselves. You have to have some type of marketing tool in the sport of boxing. Because the endorsements don't roll in for boxers like that. How many times you see boxers in the commercial? Yeah, he got a good resume. Because and his dad was talking. Even before the camera was there, like with fights with Kendall Hart that was low key. His daddy was talking. But then he backed it up. That's just the way that he is. People think it's an act. But it's still marketing his son. Andre Ward, one of the best fighters I've seen in my life live. Didn't get the fanfare that he deserved to get. He didn't. He didn't get the fanfare at all. He went out as one of the most mundane boxers in history. Boring. That's the book on him. Even though a lot of us don't see him as boring, but that's the casual perspective on Andre Ward. Boring. Mundane. He being boring. He didn't have no personality. He said, yeah, I'm going to go home. Yeah, it's cool. You say you're going to, it ain't nothing. You're not selling yourself out like people saying, oh, you selling yourself out. You're not. You're not. It's like WWE is the best way I could put it. You selling a character. The only difference is you selling a character. The real only difference is it's not premeditated. It's not already orchestrated. The winner is already not predetermined. You know, you going out there to do what you got to do. And you got to do that. And people say, well, what are you, the greatest of all time? He marketed himself. Most of the stuff he was standing up for social justice before that, he was telling guys what he was going to do and how he was going to do it. You got to sell yourself. It's like you going to a job interview every time you about to fight. Why do people want to see Terrence Crawford fight? We love to see him fight because we like to see boxing. We like to see the best boxers fight. But why would the casual fans want to see him fight? Why? We just want to see a good fight. We want to be entertained. Okay, they want to be entertained, but you have to entertain inside and outside the ring. And that's what it is. Muhammad Ali was the best self-promoter and made a lot of money and probably broke a lot of money records back in this day for boxing. Talk cash money crap. But it was never with him selling himself out. It was selling the fight. And that's what people get insensitive and crying about stuff. Look at every last one of Floyd fights probably besides the Oscar De La Hoya fight. It was mad love for Ricky Hatton. It was love for Manny Pacquiao. It was love for Shane Mosley. It was a lot of respect. It's gamesmanship. It's showmanship. And if you don't have no showmanship and no personality in this boxing game, you ain't gonna make that real money. You ain't. Deion Sanders we just talked about. You think if he ain't create prime time, he won't go make that money? And people, it's a good one. J-Dub squad up. You know, look at Adrian Broner. Everybody know who Adrian Broner is. It ain't because he rubbed shoulders. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go check it out. The box office for sure. I'm gonna check it out. Adrian Broner is the most popular fighter, active fighter in American boxing. My American boxing scene right now. He ain't the best fighter. You say Terrence Crawford better than Adrian Broner right now. You know, everybody knows AB. Like the boxing office said. Everybody know who AB is. You know? It's a character that he's selling. And he's able to steal gross off of that character. He able to show up to clubs and get 100,000. You know, he able to rub shoulders with Kodak Black. Get him on the track. You know, rubbing shoulders with other famous people put you in positions to make more money. You know, maybe walk through the club. You know, able to get About Billions promotion. Able to draw guys like Willie Monroe that almost signed with About Billions promotions. It's able to draw Robert Easter Jr. to sign with About Billions promotions. It's about marketing yourself. And a lot of people can't do it. I would never thought Floyd can do it. You know, from watching him early on. You know, I never thought he could do it. Like, man, you ain't got no personality for real. I know he punching people around Vegas in the nose and getting cases around Vegas. You know, PBC did have a reality show. But 24/7 was the best thing that Floyd, Al Heyman, and Oscar De La Hoya could have thought of. Yeah, he always had mouth, but we never knew he can do a character like that. That was a character. Money Mayweather is a character. That ain't really him. He probably do some of the dumb stuff that he do. But all that 100,000, 50,000, that ain't how that boy was raised. Listen to his dad say, I raised that boy to be a good boy. If he got a line, I beat his ass. What up, Matt? You know, and that's what you got to do. People want to put words in people's mouth. You ain't got to, create a character to sell out. You know, look at Ric Flair. Created the Nature Boy. And he really became the Nature Boy. Now, that was, a separate case. He started living that in and outside the ring. Exactly. A lot of these guys need a script ready for them. You know, you're right. Because you have to sell. People want to be entertained. Remember Riddick Bowe fired on old boy at the press conference? You know how much more fanfare that fight got because of that? You know, Mayorga selling fights. People tuned in for Mayorga and Cotto. I mean, it's about showmanship and gamesmanship. And you can keep it tasteful. You know, like I said, Joseph Parker just talked himself into a $12 million fight. When they was really only offering them 80-20. You know? People say, what about Mike Tyson? Yeah, when you able to show a lot of speed and power and knock guys like he did in the most glamorous division, the best division ever in the sport of boxing, historically in the most glamorous division that casuals can identify with, yeah. When you bad as him, yeah. I mean, you don't gotta talk none. You know, when you walk into your presence, you walk into a room and people know what you done did, and you short 5'10", knocking out people at 6'7", that's Manny Pacquiao-esque. It sells itself. You know, it sells itself. He had a character, but when he was first coming up in the 80s, it wasn't no character for Tyson. It was whoop butt, knockout, and that's what his character was built off of. Now, when he came back, from jail, he was feeling some type of way. You know, when he came back from jail, he was the villain Tyson. But when he was getting them belts at first and beating Trevor Bourbon and all that, he was the kid that everybody loved. Everybody loved Mike Tyson in the 80s. Everybody loved 80s Mike Tyson. You know? And a household name. These guys you think like Errol, Spence, Terrence Crawford, Andre Ward, Peter Quillen, Danny Jacobs. These guys are not household names. They're household names in the sport of boxing, but they're not able to cross over and do a Febreze commercial. Like Marvin Hagler, fought all them tough fights his whole Marvin Hagler, beat people up his whole career, fighting the toughest guys in Philly, toughest guys in Jersey, toughest guys in Massachusetts, wherever he was fighting, he's fighting the toughest guys. But he wanted that Sugar Ray Leonard fight to cross over. But before Ray got in the ring with him, he had already crossed over doing pop commercials or whatever commercials he was doing. You know, Gillette commercials. He was happy. He said, I didn't need Ray Leonard no more because I had finally crossed over and got my respect. That's when you know you crossed over. When you were seeing these guys in ads, like Triple G was on the Apple, now you see him starting to kind of cross over now. You know, you see these guys on late night TV shows and stuff. You see them on ESPN and all that stuff. It's happening. But they got to take that to the next level now. You know, they got to take it to the next level. And that's what it is, man. It's not that you got to sell yourself out and be, F you and dropping F-bombs. It's playing a part. It's all love after the fight. It's all love after the fight. And they need more boxing 24/7 HBO series like that. You know? They do. You know, without 24/7 and without the production of HBO, that Mayweather De La Hoya fight would have never did the record. Floyd may have never been Floyd. You know, until he fought Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather never would have broke all them records. Him and Oscar and HBO, that was like a perfect storm. When they sat down and discussed that and what they was going to do and how he was going to do it. Because look here, bro. You believe Floyd Mayweather, you know, was just disrespecting Oscar De La Hoya and they didn't sit in the room and talk about what was about to happen. They knew what was about to happen. It was a sell to fight and both men walked away wealthy. Oscar walked away the most wealthiest man at the time. But Floyd was able to play on and take that character on and do his thing. He was. So it's not being disrespectful. It's not selling yourself out. Learn what a sellout is. You selling the character. And that's what people can't fathom though. They can't fathom that these guys selling the character. You know, they can't fathom that. They think it's real TV. But it's not. I done seen people have legit bad blood in boxing. Victor Ortiz versus the whole Robert Garcia camp. Victor Ortiz, Brandon Rios. Vernon Parrish versus old boy from Baltimore. You know, I forget his name. They fought on Friday Night Fights. It was all love after that. It's all love, you know. You know, when you throw hands in the sport of boxing, you throw hands in the street. When you fight a guy and y'all legitimately bang it out, 9 times out of 10, it's legit love. You know, it's respect after that. I said respect, like Birdman. You better put some respect on my name. You know, but you know, bad blood fights is the best fights. But when you know, they gotta learn to sell the character, man. It's not a super fight right now. If you guessing that right now, it's no super fight in the welterweight division right now. It's no super fight. It's no fight in the welterweight division that's gonna do 1 million pay-per-views as constructed. Now Keith Thurman tried to sell that character, and he was doing a very good job until he stopped fighting. Stevenson and Jack, man, I gotta look at the tape. Stevenson do lose though. He 40-something years old, man. But there's no super fight in the welterweight division. It's no super fight below 160 in my opinion. You know, it's no super fight below 160 right now. A super fight is a fight known that you already know is going to do 1 million pay-per-view buys. Coming into the fight. None. None now without Pacquiao, Mayweather, Cotto, Marquez. There's none there. You can go up to 168. There's no pay-per-view fight in America there. 175. There's no super fight there. Heavyweight, they got a potential super fight with Joshua and Wilder. They building that, and Eddie Hearn and Wilder is marketing that. It's good, but other than that, it's no super fight. Yeah, it's bad blood fights, but there's no super fights. That's because a lot of these guys, I mean, they just gotta figure out what they gotta do. Now Charlos, they on their way. You know, the one Charlo at Jamal at middleweight, because I got to learn their names, because they real good. But Jamal at middleweight, I like him. I like the Charlos, and that's how I know a lot of guys don't understand the character. What the Charlos are doing, they was nice boys in the beginning. I'm in off on this. They was nice. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. They did what they did in the sport of boxing. But when people wouldn't let them in, when Canelo didn't want to give them title shots, and they wanted to play with the sanctioning belt bodies, play with the rankings, when the Jermell Charlo, the one that's at 154, was doing all the fighting, the tough guys, the Demetrius Hopkins, the Gabriel Rosados, and they was fighting all the tough ones, and nobody was letting them in, and they started talking. They talked their way into titles. They talking their way into big fights now. They talking their way into a Triple G fight. The other one's talking his way into a Lauren Jarrett with her fight. And then people say, I don't like them. They disrespectful. It's an act. That ain't how them boys living. It's an act. They trying to sell themselves. They marketing themselves, and they not selling themselves out. They being more vocal about what they honestly believe they gonna do, and they do it. A lot of people say, they all wound up. They always mad. They always angry. Like Mr. T in Rocky. That was a character. That people really believe that was real. Ooh, I'm gonna get you, bad boy. That's all the Charlo's doing. Ain't beating, man, you crazy as hell. Jamal Charlo gonna beat the dog walking shit out of Triple G ass. Watch what I tell you. Triple G ain't gonna fight Jamal Charlo, bro. The other one better than him, though, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion on that. And a lot of people don't understand the Charlos, man. You know, they oh, you mean they just bold, man. They crazy, man. It's an act. They selling themselves. Because when they was nice and they was fighting who they had to fight, and people saying they was boring and they ain't do this, they ain't do that, they wouldn't let them in. So they start talking, they start getting opportunities. You know, and like them, love them, and hate them, you're gonna pay to see them fight. A lot of people wish they lose, but they stay calling out the best. Danny Jacobs can catch a fade. Nah, I like Tom Brady. That's the homie, but I'm pulling Jacksonville. I like them boys over there. I don't have no dog in no race. Just Tom Brady. Went to U of M. That's my school. Yeah, exactly, Body Snatcher. I fuck with Body Snatcher Vince Camper, man. That's the homie right there. Not just because we agree a lot, but I like his insight. I like a lot of y'all insights, man. Especially Boxing Today, the Boxing Office. Go holler at his channel. J-Dub. I mean, got good dialogue here, man. But it's just about selling your brand and selling yourself. You know? And you can still sell yourself and go crazy and still get sponsors and sponsorships, you know? It can happen. But we gone.